The name is Tim Berners-Lee in the year of 1991. And the meaning of the hypertext is text within the text, or we can say that a text that has a link. In our real time also we may observe that whenever you clicked on any text, we are going to redirect it for any other website or any other web pages. Like that, if you created the link for any text, that text is called hypertext. For example, if you have any web page and you may have some information, and if you want to go to the next page, sometimes in most of the websites you may observe that you may have the previous page and next page links. When you click on the next page, you are going to redirect it to the next page of that particular page. Or if you clicked on the previous page, obviously you are going to redirect it for the previous page of the current page. That is what hyperlink. When you clicked on the particular text, you are going to redirect it for the another web page or another website also sometimes. So that is the meaning of hypertext technically. And coming to the markup language. A markup language is a computer language majorly that is used to apply layout or formatting conventions to a web document. Very simple. Let me tell you in simple words. While you are developing the website, so generally we use HTML when we are working with the web applications. Or in simple terms, if you want to develop any website, we use HTML in general. So while you are designing the web page or website, how you want to maintain the web page, like where you want to maintain the menus, where you want to maintain the buttons, labels, like that. Its markup language is used to give the layout of your complete web page. That is the meaning of markup language. Markup language is a language that is a computer language that is used to apply the layout or formatting. Formatting nothing but what is the format font family you want to use, what is the color you want to apply, what is the size you want to select. So all these comes to the markup language related things. Hypertext markup language. Hypertext, a text within the text or a text has a link. Markup language is a computer language that is used to set the layout and formattings of the web pages. So this is the complete meaning of the word HTML. Then what is web page? Very simple. For example, if we have a system, you may have any document, different type of the documents, right? For example, Microsoft Office document, Microsoft PowerPoint document, text document, notepad document, like. So in the same way, a web page is also a document. That is also a file. That is also a document. But that is developed, that is designed using HTML, and that can be understood in simple terms. That can be understood by any web browser. That document is called a web page. Let me repeat. What is web page? A web page is just like a document. How we have the document like text processor related documents. This is also a document, but that can be opened or that can be understood or that can be translated by any web browser. That document is called a web page. A web page can be identified by entering an URL. So in internet, we have several websites, so many millions of the websites we have. One website is a collection of the various web pages. Like one book is a collection of the pages, right? In the same way, a website is collection of web pages. A website is a collection of web pages. Okay, and then how to identify each and every page in our book? Generally in our normal book, page numbers, right? We have a page numbers to identify the pages in our book, in our textbook or notebook. In the same way, in the internet also, suppose if you have any website, each and every web page is uniquely identified with help of the URL. Okay, URL is nothing but an address. Okay, uniform resource locator, that is used to identify the resource, where resource is nothing but a web page in this case. Then a web page can be a static web page or dynamic web page. With the HTML, we can create only static web pages. To understand this, you must know first what is static web page, what is dynamic web page. Static web page means a page, a page where that page content is not changed dynamically. Okay, it has a so that web page content is not changed, it has constant content. For example, suppose if you are working with any news related web page, whatever the news is displayed on the web page is constant. You cannot modify it or you cannot interact with that. That is called a static web page. Then dynamic web page. Dynamic web page means we can change the content of a web page dynamically. Time to time, the content of the web page is changed. Depending on your requirement, the result might be varied. That type of the nature is called dynamic web page. Simple example for the dynamic web page is, for example, if you want to know the result of a particular student, if you enter the hall ticket number and click on the submit button, so depends on your requirement, a result is generated internally and the content of the web page is changed. Okay, the content will be changed whenever you enter different hall ticket numbers. This is a best example for the dynamic web page. Then, so HTML is a markup language. Finally, you must understand that HTML is a markup language which is used for creating attractive web pages. This is used to create web pages with attractive means with colors, designs, layouts, and so on. With the help of these stylings, so we'll discuss styling concept, that is cascading style sheet concept. CSS will be covered in the coming session, and which looks a nice format on a web browser. So we can give a good design in simple terms. An HTML document is made of many HTML tags, and each HTML tag contains different content. So in HTML, frequently we use the word tag. You must understand what is HTML tag. So you know, I think you may have the knowledge about keywords concept in a C language, CPP, Python, Java. Keywords are the words, those have the fixed meaning, reserved meaning given by the developers. In the same way, tag is also just like a keyword that has a reserved meaning in HTML. So to design any website or any web page by using HTML, we need to use several tags. Each and every tag is used to perform different tasks. For each and every different task, a dedicated tag is developed. Then how to write the tag, what is the syntax to write the tag will be covered later on. Just as of now, just remember what is a tag, what is the use of tag. Then features of HTML. It is very easy and a simple language. It can be easily understood and modified. So as we are saying, it is a tag based markup language. So it easily we can design any website with help of HTML. It is very easy to make an effective presentation with HTML because it has lot of formatting tags, as I covered already. You can present any content in the effective manner with help of the tags. It is a markup language, so it provides a flexible way to design web pages along with the text. So we can design any web page with different designs like images, buttons, links. Okay, along with the text, you can use the normal text also. It facilitates the programmers to add a link on the web pages. So nothing but we can create a hyperlink on the websites. To create any hyperlink in HTML, we use anchor tag. What is anchor tag? How to implement anchor tag will be covered later on. But as of now, just remember to create the hyperlink, we use anchor tag. So by using links on the web pages, it is useful to enhance the interest of browsing of the user. For example, if you have the different content on your web page, sometimes you may not display the complete content on a single web page. You may find this type of the case in the real time also. For example, you may find one paragraph and you may give some link like that. For the more information, click on this link. Okay. So this type of the links, hyperlinks we can create. Next feature, it is a platform independent because it can be displayed on any platform like Windows operating system, Linux operating system, and Macintosh operating system. So platform independent means for example, if you develop any website, you can execute the same HTML code on a different operating system. Let us say I developed a website using Windows operating system, and the same code can be executed on Linux operating system or Apple operating system and so on without any modifications. So this is the meaning of the word platform independent. Whatever it might be the platform is, here you must understand that platform means operating system architecture and processor architecture. We may use X operating system and A processor to develop the HTML. You can execute the same code without any modifications on all different type of the operating systems and with help of different types of the processors also. This is the meaning of platform independent. Next, it facilitates the programmer to add graphics, videos, and sounds to the web pages, which makes it more attractive and interactive. So with help of the HTML, we can add graphics, videos, and sounds. HTML is a case-sensitive programming language. Nothing but the capital letter of any character is completely treated as a different character to the lowercase letter of the same character. So in simple terms, capital A is completely different from small a. Capital B is completely different from small b, and so on. So this is the meaning of case sensitive. Case means uppercase or lowercase here. Every uppercase letter is completely different from lowercase letter of the same character. Then what are the text editors we use to write the code of HTML? Do we need to download any software or not? See this? An HTML file is a text file. So to create any HTML file, we can use any text editor. So in a Windows operating system, you may have Notepad application. So open the Notepad and create a new Notepad application and open it and write the HTML code. That is enough to develop the code in HTML. If you use different operating system like a Linux operating system, you may have the text processor like a text editor. So you can create any new text editor and write the code and save it in that. This is how to use text editors to design HTML code. Text editors are the programs which allow editing in a written text. As to create a web page, we need to write our code in some text editors. There are various types of the text editors available, which you can directly download. But these text editors are for the beginner purpose only. So the best text editors, Notepad in the operating system. We have Notepad software. This is somewhat advanced one. It can give some coloring to the keywords and normal code depending on the requirement. Next. After learning the basics, you can easily use other professional text editors like Sublime, Vim, so on. So as a beginner, it is suggestible to use basic level of text processing applications like Notepad, text editor. Once you have a good knowledge in HTML, then you can use other professional HTML editors like Sublime text editor, Vim text editor, Notepad++, VS Code, and so on. Then, what are the building blocks of HTML? An HTML document consists of its basic building blocks, which are tags and attributes. Tags and attributes. An HTML tag surrounds the content and apply meaning to its. It is written between less than and greater than brackets or simply angular brackets. So you can assume that a tag starts with a less than symbol, some name, some tag name. Tag names are predefined, and closing tag. Attributes. An attribute in HTML provides extra information about the element, and it is applied within the short tag. So the meaning of that is once you write any tag, you can specify the properties of the tag with help of the attributes. For example, I have the font tag that is used to give the different font styles, let us say. Tag name is font. The attributes the font has maybe color, size, font family. These are becomes attributes. You may select different font color, different font attributes like size. So these are called attributes of a tag. We covered already this point. HTML tags are just like a keywords in C, C++, Java. All HTML tags must enclosed within angular brackets, or in simple terms, less than greater than symbol. Start with less than symbol, write some tag name and greater than symbol. Every tag in HTML performs different tasks. Every tag in HTML performs different tasks. So for working with the font, we have the font related tag. If you want to working with the images, you have image related tag. Like that, for each and every task, we have a dedicated tags in HTML. Then, if you have used an open tag is nothing but less than tag name greater than. Generally, this notation or syntax is used to represent open tag. Then you must use a closure tag also. First one is open tag, and after completion of the work of that particular tag, generally you need to write a closing tag also. Then how to write closing tag? Very simple. After the less than symbol, less than, you need to write slash, forward slash. Then remaining is same as the opening tag. Less than slash tag. So this is how to write closing tag. The next important point is for all the tags, closing tag is not available in HTML. Some tags may exist without closing tag. See the simple code. The first statement is doc type HTML. Even though it is not essential to write this statement, but is strongly recommended to write this instruction, to write this statement, because with help of this statement, with help of this line only, the browser is going to identify this HTML tag is belongs to HTML5. Otherwise, your HTML code will not be identified as the HTML5 version. That's why it is strongly recommended to write document type. After that, the main parts of the web page are HTML tag, header tag, body tag. These three are very, very important. Then what is HTML tag? HTML tag is a root tag. HTML is a root tag for all HTML code. You must start with actual code with HTML. So whatever the code you want to write, you must write within the HTML root tag only. Within the HTML tag, we have header tag. We may not write the code related to the design of the document of the web page in the head part. In the head part, generally we write title and the title is used to give the name to your tab, name to your web page. Whenever you want to open a website, the title of the web page will be displayed on the tab in the browser. That is the use of HTML tag. Okay, within that is the title. Then close the head tag after the title. So generally within the head we use title tag as we covered just now. We can write CSS related code also. Next, body tag. This is very important tag. The actual code of the HTML should be written within the body tag itself. After the body tag, you can write closing of the body tag, closing of the HTML. This is how to write a very simple code about HTML. So as of now, we covered these points. Just go through it. Next, what is an HTML element? An HTML element is defined by a start tag, some content, and an end tag. This is called HTML element. Example, tag name, content goes after the tag name and closing the tag. So this line is called HTML element. The HTML element is everything from the start tag to the end tag. Whatever you have written, that should be valid within the two tags. That is called program. That is called a statement in the HTML program. Okay, or you can say element, HTML element. Examples for the HTML elements are H1, observe the second last statement. H1, that is used to create the headings. My first heading, close H1. You can observe here how to write heading tag, how to create headings using HTML. Next tag is one more example, P. P is nothing but a paragraph tag. P stands for paragraph. This P tag is used to create the paragraphs. Less than P greater than. That is how to create a tag, starting tag. After this tag, you can write the content. So how many lines you want to write in the form of the paragraph, you need to write that lines of the sentence here. Okay, my first paragraph, I am writing just only single line, but if you want to write it in a multi-line, you can write it. And closing the paragraph. So here, in the example section, you observe that H1 statement, P statement, these two are called HTML elements. Okay. Let me divide the complete HTML element like what is start tag, what is end tag, what is element content. So H1 in the previous example, H1 my first heading, H1 closing H1. Right. So H1 is called start tag or starting tag. Element content is my first heading and end tag is end tag of the H1, nothing but less than / H1 greater than. So that is called end tag. In the same way, paragraph starting tag P, ending tag P, and element content is my first paragraph. Like that, you can understand what is a HTML element and what is element content, what is start tag and what is end tag. Next, we need to know about how to execute HTML code after designing. As of now, what we covered, what is HTML, and we need to write the code using the text editors. And how to write the code also we covered few parts, right? Then after that, if I write the code like a paragraph or a heading, how to execute that? Do we need to download any particular software for that? The answer is no. You can execute your HTML code by using any browser. Remember, you can execute HTML code using any browser. For example, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Netscape Navigator, Microsoft Edge, and so on. You can use any one of the browser to execute your HTML code. By default, the HTML code will be executed in default browser of your system. What is the browser set as a default browser in your computer system? In that particular browser, your HTML code will be executed. Okay. Then what is browser? The purpose of the web browser, examples of the web browsers, Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Safari, we covered just now. The purpose of the web browser is to read the HTML document and display them correctly. After developing of the HTML code, the complete HTML code will be understood by the web browsers because that has different type of the parsers, where parser is a collection of the code, that is also a software component that can understand the code of the HTML, and after that the result of that HTML page will be displayed on the web browser. A web browser doesn't display an HTML tags, nothing but even though you are writing the tags in the HTML code, the notation of the tag like less than, greater than symbols, those will not be displayed as a result. The complete result of the code only will be displayed. For example, if I write h1 element welcome and close h1, if you run this, welcome only will be displayed, not the start tag, and end tags will be ignored by the browser. Only element content will be displayed as a result of that HTML code. You can observe here in this slide also, we have my first heading, my first paragraph. But in the code, if we observe, we are writing H1, P and so on, right? But H1 starting and closing, P starting and closing will not be displayed in the result. Just my first heading, my first paragraph only displayed. This is the meaning of a browser doesn't display the HTML tags, but uses them to determine how to display the document. With help of the tags only, the web browser is going to understand that is a heading part. That's why my first heading will be displayed in the form of heading. After that, the next sentence will be displayed in the form of paragraph. With help of the tags, the browser is going to understand how to display that element. But the tags won't be displayed in the result. I think it's clear, right? Then see the structure of the HTML. As I said, HTML is a root tag for the HTML code. Always it is suggestible to start with HTML tag, even though some browsers or some text editors also supports to execute your code without writing the root node, the root tag, that is HTML. But it is a standard practice to write HTML tag. Starts with HTML, and within the HTML we need to write header, starting and ending point of the head. Within the header tag, generally we write titles of the web pages, CSS, cascading style sheets, and functions related concepts also. Generally we write in the head part. And body part is the main part. All the other content we must write within the body part. After body starting and closing, you need to close the HTML tag. This is the rules generally we need to follow while developing the code using HTML. If you observe a short history about the HTML, in the year of 1989, Tim Berners-Lee invented www, and in 1991, Berners-Lee invented HTML. After that, he added some features and released HTML Plus in the year of 1993. And after that, if you observe, the HTML5 is released in 2014, that is recommended by W3C, World Wide Web Consortium, that is recommendation of W3C, released in the year of 2014. The version name is HTML5. So what is the current version we are using? That is HTML5 version only. Now, so as of now, we covered how to develop the code and how to execute the code. Okay, we covered that we need to maintain some browsers and we need to maintain some text editors. But what is the sequence to complete the execution procedure? Let me tell you that step one is open the notepad, not only notepad, any text editor, and write some your HTML code. After writing the HTML code, you must save that HTML page or HTML code. While saving your code, you must remember that you must save your HTML page with extension .html or .htm. Two are valid. .html or .htm, two are valid. Okay, you can give any name, but the extension is compulsory. .htm or .html. You can use any one of these two. Two are valid. Okay, and setting the encoding UTF-8 is optional. In some text editors, by default, automatically that will be read. And next, this is how to write and how to save the code. After that, if you want to execute that code, just go to the location where you saved your HTML file, and you can observe a web browser icon at that place because you saved that code with the format of .html. Now. So automatically you can observe the icon of your default web browser in your system. So just double click on that, automatically that HTML will be executed and you can find the result. So these are the steps you need to follow to execute the HTML code. Open any text editor, write the code, save it in any location with the .html extension and go to that location, double click on that. But you must remember that you must have at least one browser in your system to execute this code. Any browser like Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, or Safari, or Mozilla Firefox, any one of the browser you must maintain in your system to execute that code. Let me enter into some more topics, important topics of the HTML. How to give the headings. I have shown you just now how to use H1. So coming to the HTML heading tags, we have H1 to H6 tags. H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. 6 tags we have. Those are called heading tags. H1, H2, H3, H4, H5 and H6. Then H1 is used to create a heading in the very biggest size. When compared to all the 6, H1 is very biggest size. And H6 is smallest size. Nothing but those are ordered in descending order. H1 biggest size, H2 smaller than H1 and so on. H6 is a smallest size heading. So depending on your requirement, depending on your designing, you can select which heading is suitable to satisfy your requirement. So that is while developing any web page, how to set the headings, how to set the headings by using heading tags. Next topic is how to create the paragraphs. Just now we have seen one example, that is to create the paragraphs we use p tag p. The tag name is p. With the help of that we can create the paragraphs, multi-line sentences. And it has starting tag and stopping tag, ending tag. Next, sometimes while developing any website, you may have one requirement like we need to create even a horizontal line. Okay. For example, I want to give one heading. Enter your details, employee details. Let us say employee details. After that, I want to give one horizontal line. After the line, I want to display the employee details because it has some good design, good readability that has. So for that, then how to create that horizontal line with help of the HTML? Very simple. For that, we have a tag name HR. H or horizontal. Short name is, acronym is HR. HR is a most often used to tag to create the horizontal role, horizontal line in simple terms. It is used to separate the content or define a change in the HTML page. And HR tag is an empty tag. This is very important point. As I said already, no need to write the end tag for all the tags. Some tags can be used without the end tag also. Those tags are called empty tags. Let me repeat. For some tags, no need to write ending tag or closing tag. Such a type of the tags are called empty tags. Here HR, horizontal ruler is also an empty tag. No need to write any end tag. Then HTML line break. Suppose if you want to print some sentence in one line and remaining words are remaining sentence in the next line. For that we need to create a new line, right? So to create the new line in HTML, we use break tag BR. The HTML BR element defines a line break, nothing but a line break. If you want to create any line break, nothing but creating the new line, without starting a new paragraph, we use break. See the example scenario where we use break and how to use it. Paragraph tag P, this is the element, this is. Then I am writing BR here. Whenever you write BR, automatically the following sentence will be displayed in the next line in the result. So a paragraph will be displayed in the second line because before that we created a new line with help of the BR. When we have BR, at that point a new line is created. In simple terms, you must understand it. After that, a paragraph, we have one more BR tag. So next one more line is created. In the third line, with line breaks, the text with the line breaks will be displayed. So if you execute this code, it creates three lines. In the first line, you have the sentence like this is. Second line, a paragraph. Third line with line breaks. Like that, the result will be displayed in the three lines because we are using two breaks. Obviously, first one, no need to use any break. After the first, after the second, we need to create new line. Next, text formatting. For example, as we know already, sir, whenever you are working with any document, sometimes we need to change any text into the bold or italic. Okay. Or we want to change the size to small. And sometimes we need to write the dates like 23rd, 25th superscript. Okay. and sometimes we need to write subscript log2. So we have different requirements. For that also we have different tags related to that requirement. Those are called HTML text formatting related tags. HTML text formatting. How to format different text. HTML contains several elements for defining text with a special meaning. Formatting elements were designed to display special types of the text, where B tag name is B, that is used to change a text into the bold. B for bold, you can remember it easily. For the bold text, B tag. Then strong is nothing but even more bold. Okay, bold, but still, if you want to make it is more bold, more thick, then you can go for the strong. Then if you want to change any text in the italic style, you can go for the I tag. The tag name is I. Write the tag, write the text. Close the I tag. That's it. Then the text will be displayed in the italic manner, italic format in the result web page. Like that, you can apply different styles like emphasized text, marker text, smaller text, deleted text, inserted text, subscript and superscript. So for this we use, these are the tags. You can observe on the slide, tag name and purpose. Okay. Then see the example how to change a text into the bold type. Doc type HTML, as I covered, it is strongly recommended to you to write. Then the browser can identify this is the HTML5 version. Otherwise, if you are not writing that, your program might be executed, but sometimes you may get the undesired outputs. So that's why strongly it is recommended to you to write doc type space HTML. Then as usual starts with HTML. Within that header tag, and the title of the web page is bold text example. This is the title of the web page. Closing the title, closing the head. This is about the head part, and coming to the body part. Body, within the body I am creating a paragraph with help of the P tag. And the following word uses A. This will be displayed in the normal text. This text will be displayed in a normal form. The following word uses A. But after that I am using B tag. Observe now, B tag B na? Then bold. Nothing but whatever the text we have after the B, that will be printed in the bold format. So the text bold will be printed in the bold format. Then typeface, that is a general text that doesn't have any specific meaning, that is not predefined, a simple sentence, part of the sentence only. Then closing the paragraph tag. After that, close the body tag, close the HTML tag. Same hierarchy you need to maintain. Start HTML, and within the HTML, head part. Start and close head part. Within the head part, title part. After closing the head part, you need to write body part. And within the body, you need to write the actual code. After closing the body, you need to close the HTML tag. So this is sequential order. You must understand, you must remember this. And if you observe the output regarding to this code, the last statement observe here, the following word uses a bold interface. So the result, if you observe, the text bold, the text BOLD, bold, is displayed in the bold format. For that, we have written the code. In the same way, if you want to display any data in the italic format, we use I. Simply just within the tag, you need to write letter I, okay, starting and ending tag. See the code. doc type HTML, then HTML root tag, head start and close. Within the head title, you can give any title for your web page, depend on requirement. As we are working with italic, just I am giving the name italic text example. Then after closing of the head tag, start the body tag. Within the body tag, I want to create a paragraph. For that, we need to use P tag. P, the following word uses an italicized. Before the sentence, before the word italicized, I used I letter, I tag. Now that word italicized is displayed in the italic format. So I think you can expect the output of this code. The output of this code is the following word uses an italicized typeface where the word italicized is displayed in italic format. I think it's clear now. So in the next class, that is tomorrow's class, we'll discuss about strike text, superscript, subscript, and other than this, in the next session, I will show you practically the execution, how to execute the code, and I will show you each and every individual steps. Okay. So that's it for today's session. So go through it, and if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the next session. I will clarify your doubts. Okay. Thank you.